This is the revision of the poem Laburnum Top. I've already done the poem with you. This is just I'm giving it to you all over again. A small summarization. Basically, the poem Laburnum Top is a poem that reveals around a tree. Laburnum tree, which is a leaf with poisonous seeds, right? Somewhere the tree is symbolic of death and sadness, right? But just because of the arrival of the bird, there is positivity, there is happiness on the tree, and the tree becomes lively. This is a optimistic poem, I would say, written by Ted Hughes, who tells us about the mutual coordination and a symbiotic relationship between two creatures, a plant and a bird, right? So let's read out. Aditi, please continue reading.
The poem Laburnum Talk by Ted Hughes revolves around a laburnum tree and a goldfinch bird. The theme of the poem is the symbiotic relationship between the two. It describes the laburnum tree during the early autumn. The tree was yellow, silent, and dead-like. It was made alive again by the goldfinch bird and her young ones chirping on its branches. The poem describes that the laburnum tree looked extremely pretty in the yellow September light. The mother goldfinch keeps flying to find food for her young ones. As soon as she flies back in the sky, there is an elusive silence on the laburnum tree.
Now, the poem starts by describing the laburnum tree. The top of the laburnum tree is absolutely still and silent. The leaves of the tree have turned yellow and the seeds have fallen on the ground. So this makes it very clear this is autumn season. The tree was standing still and there was death-like silence in September. All those who have switched off their cameras, you are going to have a tough time with me now. So the tree was standing still and there was dead-like silence in the month of September. The lifeless tree again gets back to life. The tree gets back to life on the arrival of the goldfinch bird. She comes to feed her young ones on the tree. The tree is their shelter. The tree is their home. Now, as soon as the mother comes, the tree seems to get back to life. She moves to the other side of the branch in a lizard-like movement. A lizard is very abrupt and very active, very random in its actions, right? So this bird also moves to the other side of the branch, just like a lizard. Like a lizard, here you will find there's a simile used here. There are a lot of figures of speech used here, right? So it's a simile here. After feeding her young ones, she flies back to the sky. The death-like silence and stillness return to the tree. So the arrival of the tree makes the tree lively, but once she flies back after feeding her young ones, the tree is dead again, right? Let's continue with the explanation. Aditi, please continue.
In the Laburnum Top poem summary, the poet says that he saw a laburnum tree in the daytime of September. The tree top was silent and still. It was the autumn season and all the seeds of the tree had fallen. The poet has used the word yellow to refer to the leaves and sunlight. Yellow color symbolizes silence, death, and beauty. He describes the tree with reference to the yellow color.
Okay, so the tree top was silent and still. It's autumn season. The tree has shed its leaves. Yellow is symbolic of, we can say, death here. Yellow is not symbolized here as a positive color, as a bright, vibrant color. Rather, it symbolizes death and beauty. So it is also symbolizing beauty, but moreover, you will find death here refers to the leaves of yellow tree, of the laburnum tree, which are now fallen down, which have now apart from the tree because of the autumn season. And beauty here refers to the goldfinch bird. The bird which comes, goldfinch is a very beautiful bird, vibrant yellow color bird. So it also represents beauty here. So you can find the dual symbolism here of the yellow color. Aditi, please continue.
In summary of the laburnum top, a goldfinch bird comes to the end, the death-like silence of the tree, and returns life to it. There is a sudden chirp of sound. The bird was rapid, alert, and precautious, like a lizard. She sits on the branches of the tree. She moved towards the thick end of the branch like a lizard, as one did. So her young ones started chirping and vibrating their wings. They were excited and joyous. This resulted in the tree to shake and tremble.
Now, the bird was rapid, alert, and precautious like a lizard. I've told you this is a simile used here, a figure of speech. Simile is used here. She sits on the branches of the tree. She perches on the branches of the tree, and then she moves towards the thick end of the branch to feed its young ones, because the bird has its nest there and her children are there in the nest. So her young ones start making the chirping sound. So that chirping and sound words which are used here, onomatopoeia is used here. Please write down the figures of speech side by side. They were excited and joyous, and this resulted in the tree to shake and tremble. Right? Aditi, please continue further.
In Laburnum Talk explanation, the poet gives two contrasted scenarios of the tree. First one is that the tree is mostly in a death-like stillness and silence. And the second one is that the tree offers shelter and protection to the young goldfinches. The tree serves as an engine to the family of the goldfinch. Only the dark-colored stripped face of the mother goldfinch is visible as her yellow body camouflages behind the yellow leaves of the laburnum tree.
Now, the poet gives two contradicting scenarios of the tree. The true situations which the poet is giving, they are very much contradicting. First one is that the tree is mostly in a death-like stillness. That quietness is not peaceful, rather it is killing, it's dead-like. And the silence. And the second one is that the tree offers shelter and protection to the young goldfinches. The tree provides protection and shelter to the goldfinch bird. The tree serves as an engine to the family of the goldfinch. The tree is like the engine, right? Only the dark colored strip face of the mother goldfinch is visible as a yellow body camouflages behind the yellow leaves of the laburnum tree. So the tree is here like the engine of the family. The word like is not here. It is simply directly called as an engine. So it's a metaphor used here, right? And the bird, beautiful bird, the dark color strip bird, it talks about the mask which is it's having, because it hides itself behind the tree, behind the thick bushes, behind the thickness of the tree. So again, here you will find metaphor used here. Please continue further, Aditi.
The bird starts sliding to the end of the branch after offering food to her young ones. After this, it sweetly chirps and flies away in the blue infinite sky. This makes the laburnum tree silent and death-like again.
Now the bird slides to the end of the branch, gives food to her young ones, then it comes back, it chirps and it flies away in the infinite sky. The sky is infinite because it's endless. There is no beginning, no ending of the sky. This makes the laburnum tree silent and dead-like again. The laburnum top summary highlights the fact that both the bird and the tree, they are equally important to each other and they are mutually working for each other's survival. They are interdependent on each other. So the interdependence of two creatures, two living creatures, plants are also biologically living, right? And bird. So the mutual interdependence on the two living creatures is highlighted as the central idea or the theme of the poem. It is a kind of mutualism which exists between the two. The poem explains how the tree is vital to the goldfinch birds as it provides shelter to the bird and its young ones, right? And how the bird is important to the tree because the tree is lifeless without them. There is no movement, there is no excitement, there is nothing at all. It's dead like silent, right? So the melancholic silence eludes with the arrival of the bird. That sad silence which is there, the death-like silence, there is an end to that silence on the tree because of the arrival of the bird. And once the bird flies back, the tree is dead-like again. Here we end the recap of the poem. We can stop here, Akshay.